Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Martin and today we're going to be talking about how to connect the RavenEye to your external monitor. So for today's test, I'm going to be using a Fuji X-T4. I'm also going to be using the DJI Ronan RSC2 gimbal. And on top of that, I'm going to be using the FeelWorld F6 Plus monitor. Now, if you don't have the same equipment as me, then don't worry because hopefully some of these tips will be able to help you out as well. Now, all the videos that I've looked at online say that you need a HDMI splitter to be able to split the video feed from your camera and your monitor to your RavenEye. But in my case and many other people's cases, you don't really need a splitter. So, step one, if you have a Fuji camera, enable the menu. Now this is just for Fuji cameras, but it could also be for other brands. For some reason, unbeknownst to me, the RavenEye will not work unless you have the menu enabled. Step two, if there is no option to enable the menu on your camera, then you can always play around the frame rate. Now the frame rate can also determine if the RavenEye works or not. When I didn't have the menu enabled, the frame rates of 50 and 60 FPS worked great, but anything under that didn't. And I think that has something to do with the refresh rate of the monitor, trying to send out the accurate frame rates of the camera, and they all got confused, blah, 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 blah. In the end, make sure you have your menu enabled. Very nice. Step three, make sure all of your cables are in the right spot. Now, the RavenEye's manual is pretty basic and really gives you no idea on how to use it at all. So DJI, come on, help us out a bit more. Us noobs need some help, all right. Step one, we want to plug our gimbal into our camera. So we want to get this cable, we want to plug her into here. Okay, so we have our gimbal attached to our camera. The next step we want to do, we want to get our RavenEye and we want to connect you to the gimbal. So with the DJI RSC2, you want to connect it into the far right port, right here. If you put it in the middle port, the only thing it will do is charge, okay? It won't actually transmit anything. Now, that said, some Sony cameras will actually only use the middle port, and that's the only thing that's going to get your RavenEye to work. So if it doesn't work on the normal ports that you're meant to use, then just experiment, keep plugging it into different things, and maybe it'll work. So you need to make sure this cable is in the far right corner. Excellent. The next step, you want to get your mini HDMI and plug it into your RavenEye. Done. And the final step, you want to get your HDMI input and plug it into your camera. Okay, now everything's plugged in. For some reason, the transmission of the RavenEye is like 1 billion times smoother and faster on any Apple device than it is with an Android. So here is a little tip to help the Android users out there to have a bit of a smoother time with the RavenEye. So you want to start gimbal first, then the RavenEye, and then the camera. So once these three devices are powered up in this exact order, you should get a consistent video feed no matter what device you're on. Step four, try a different HDMI cable because it could very well be faulty. Step five. Now, if you're up to step five and it still hasn't fixed the problem, then what I would do is turn everything on and just cycle through everything on your video settings menu and just enable and disable and just keep going down the list and see if there is one specific setting that stops your RavenEye from working. Because for me, it was the menu setting, and the only way I figured that out is from troubleshooting. Enable, disable, enable, disable, enable, disable, enable. Oh shit! Step six, try a HDMI splitter. I don't know, it could work, it might not. But if you do get it, make sure you get a self-powered HDMI splitter because you do not want just another thing to have to add to your gimbal and you have to charge it. Now, if none of those steps have worked, then I would suggest going to get a tub of ice cream and crying in your bathtub. Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching, everybody. My name is Martin. This is my very first official video on my channel, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And other than that, have a fabulous day. I hope I see you in my next video. And Flabba wabba ding dong, blah 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 blah.
That's pretty good ice cream. Yeah.